Okay, today at the Pepper Pilot we're going to go over how to make some ABTs on the big green egg. And ABTs, otherwise known as Atomic Buffalo Turds. You can see we have our Mexican style cheese, some thick cut bacon, some nice jalapenos here. So first thing we want to do is, when we're working with jalapenos or any kind of peppers, we just want to make sure we're wearing gloves. And those oils on the peppers, they really get into your skin and they're hard to get rid of. And so want to be careful. So wash your peppers, and then as we cut them, we want to cut them right below the stem there, so we still keep them intact. It's not completely cutting them in half. And then kind of follow the curve of the pepper there. And we'll do that with all of our peppers. Kind of as we come around, just follow the curve there. It's a big one here. And we'll just follow the curve just like that. Okay, nice like that. Okay, then once we have them all cut, we want to be careful not to break them all the way open. We're just going to cut them, hold them open a little bit like that, and take a nice teaspoon and just get in there, and then the spine and the seeds, just kind of work your way around a little bit. You don't want to break the outside of the pepper. It just kind of comes out just like this. Real nice and easy. Make sure you get that spine, the peppers. You can leave some of the spine and the seeds in there if you want. That'll give a little more heat to your guests. And if that's what you're going for, then that's the way to do it. But most people tend to like them on the mellow side. So I get rid of most of the peppers and the spine. Okay. Okay, now we're back, and I'll show you how to stuff these. We have, make sure you get your bacon laid out and your cheese ready. So this is what the pepper will look like once it's all cleaned out. They create a nice little hollow shell here. And the way we do it is we put the cheese in, and as we put it in, we just kind of push it down, being careful not to break the pepper, the whole shell. And this, we found at the Pepper Pilot, works out really well, because that way, when it's cooking, we don't have much cheese loss. And you know how you get some of those peppers sometimes where all the cheese comes out of the center. We don't have that problem. We kind of just pack it in there nice and tight, then close it, and then kind of run it along the side, get rid of that cheese there. It looks just like this. Okay, nice and closed. Take a nice slice of this bacon here, and we just start at the back here and just wrapping it a little bit tight, overlapping itself just like this. As it comes around the side here, grab a toothpick and put it through, and there it is. Okay, and we'll just do that with all of these peppers we have here. We'll just keep doing it. Some of them that might get like this, where it's kind of flared out a little, so we'll put most of the cheese in this bottom part here, just like this we showed you earlier. Just put it in there nice and tight, and then we'll put a little bit on this side here. Close it up, run it along the side, and get a piece of the bacon. Okay, just roll it up, overlap it a little, just enough to close it up. There we go. And put the toothpick through, just like that. Okay, so now we have them all wrapped with our toothpicks in place, and that also, not only does it help the bacon, but it also keeps them together while we're cooking. The last step is we're going to put some Pepper Pilot South Seas Heat, which is our spicy rub, just to give it a little extra flavor on the top. Not too heavy, just give it a little bit coating there. And as we're doing this, I'd like to also point out, some people put in ground beef, or they'll put in some brisket they've chopped up the night before. You know, you can basically put anything in here. We really get the best reviews from people with the cheese like this. And I think it's because the way we cook it, where it doesn't lose the cheese. It kind of just stays in there. And we're going to do it tomorrow morning, nice and slow, about 225 to 250 on the dome temp on an indirect setup over a drip pan. And we'll do that for about an hour, 45 minutes to 2 hours. So they take a little bit of time, but they're well worth it. That bacon gets crispy and the inside is excellent. And we'll go over that tomorrow. We'll let them sit in the refrigerator like this, and we'll be with you tomorrow. Here we are again with the pepper pilot, and as you can see, we've got our egg up to about 250 degrees. We're using a medium-sized egg today. And as you can see, I've got a drip pan in here, and I've cut the sides, as you can see, just to flatten it out a little bit. That'll give me the room I need without having to put 2 drip pans in there. When you put the peppers down, you always want to make sure where the cut is. You want to put it just like this, right here, so they're sitting up. If you put them to the side, you have a chance of the cheese seeping out of there when it's cooking, and that's another one of our little secrets. So we'll go ahead and put them on here, and always looking to see where the incision is there and get it lined up just perfectly. You can use the toothpicks, kind of help you anchor it down a little bit. And we don't put any water in the drip pan, or as we normally do with the pepper pilot, we use Coors Light instead of water, but we're not using any today because the bacon will let off enough grease and it'll start having its own moisture in there. Okay, just like that. And like I said, it's about 2 hours, and we'll be back about 250 degrees and get our daisy wheel set. Once we open that, there we go. Just like that, we'll see you in about 2 hours. Okay, now we're back, and it's been just a little over 2 hours. Here they are. And you can see a little bit of cheese has come out. A very, very small amount. Most of it's been retained inside of the pepper. And if you want them crispier, the bacon crispier, you just control how much longer. Just make sure you keep the temperature down below 250, because anything above 250 is where it's going to start rising up and making the cheese come out as the cheese starts cooking a little more. So we'll go ahead and take these off now, and just grab them by the stem. Come right off there. Here we go. Now let's go inside and we'll cut them open and show you what it looks like on the inside of these beautiful peppers. Okay, here we are back in the kitchen, and we've let the peppers cool down just a little bit. And first thing you want to do is you want to remove the toothpicks out of the peppers now, and that way you won't have your guests get a surprise. We'll go ahead and cut one open here and show you what it looks like. Just cut it nice and soft. And you could serve them whole like this, or one other way is to cut them in half like this and put a toothpick in them and serve them with toothpicks. But here you go, we've got the inside of the peppers. You can see it's a nice solid cheese still in there. The bacon wrapped around and cooked, and still solid pepper. And you know, they all come out that way. Go ahead and cut another one open here. Like I said, cheese is pretty much in there. You saw a little bit come out on the barbecue, the big green egg there, but most of it's still intact in here. And people love this style of cooking. And if you don't want to serve them whole, like I said earlier, just put a toothpick in them, and you can serve it just like this, where people just grab them off the plate with a toothpick. All right. And once again, it was 2 hours on the big green egg at about 250 degrees to 225 degrees. And you want to keep it. You really want to keep it in that temperature range, because anything higher will cook that cheese to the point where it's going to start coming out, seeping out the sides. And we drizzled it with a little bit of South Seas heat. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.